tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Welcome, AfterBuzzers, to an all-new It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia after show. I'm your host, Danica Kennedy, and you can find me on Twitter at Danica Kennedy. We've got a whole new after show tonight, and this is Season 10, Episode 4, Charlie Work, and we have a special guest in the studio
A very
tonight.
special guest in the house.
Dominic Burgess, thank you very much for
you.
coming and visiting us here at AfterBuzz. You guys may know him as Psycho Pete.
What?
So thank you for coming in, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host. How about you introduce yourself?
Oh, hello. Thank you, lovely co-host. My name is Joe Doyle, and I'm stoked to have Dominic in the building. Psycho Pete. They sent him on the train, sent him to L.A. We got him here in the studio.
And he ended up here at AfterBuzz. That's what happened when they put him on the train.
Yes, yes. And I am Marilou Mandl. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Marilou Mandl.
Yep.
So I'm excited because Psycho Pete's here.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 sitting right next to me. Yeah, so they put you on the train.
They did.
You got off of the train right outside of our studios and luckily walked in.
And they said, just come in the front door.
That's great.
That's what Joe literally said. Just walk in the front door.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just go straight through.
It worked out great.
Joe welcomes everyone who comes
Works
off of
great
the
for
train.
us.
Yeah.
He's like, just walk in the front door.
The more the merrier, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, I'm so stoked that you're here, bud. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
I mean, you've been in tons of awesome projects, and this was one of my favorite ones.
It's one of my favorites too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell us about your experience.
Yeah, I'd love to hear about it.
I've auditioned for the show a couple of times, and actually the Charlie Work episode, I was originally going to go in for the delivery guy, and then the casting director Wendy O'Brien said instead, "Why don't you audition for Psycho Pete?" And I'm glad I did. So yeah, that was the journey, and then time on set was incredible. They're all such wonderful, laid-back guys. Such a great set to be on. I was kind of starstruck when I was there, asking stupid questions that I already knew the answers to. So I'd be talking to Glenn and be like, "So, I mean, I guess you were involved from the beginning then, huh?" I'm like, "I know, because I've seen the opening credits for 9 seasons, so I know." But yeah, everyone was super nice. Just the best time.
Did they improvise a lot for that show?
They do takes that are scripted, and then they'll play around, and then they'll talk amongst themselves, and they'll say, "Oh, you know what, why don't we try this? Yeah, try this, and now say, I don't know, say you're going to the women's restroom." So yeah, there's a lot of play and a lot of discussion amongst themselves about what they're going to do. They take a little while to set up their shots, and then they play for half an hour and just do take after take where they just play. So I'm really interested to know how Charlie worked, how tonight's episode worked, because of all the long shots and the one shots, how that went down.
Yeah, it was very different compared to their normal style, and I liked that they switched it up a little bit, especially because it was Charlie. I know he has a musical kind of theater background and plays instruments, and they had all the drums, and it's very like Birdman-like, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a fun episode.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with this episode and that shot, that True Detective inspired shot.
Yeah.
And then they had a little throwback to it with the all right, yeah.
Yeah, I was just blown away at how sane Charlie was. Charlie he's the wild card.
Yeah.
But he was so on point, and I don't think that he did one drug at all
to make
or
this
have
happen.
any cheese, and like there was just nothing. He was just on point.
He
all
smelled
night
like
long.
cheese,
The whole
though.
time.
Yeah. But I want to learn a little bit more about, you mentioned on set how cool it was. I imagine that, because you said you were a fan from the beginning? Or?
I kind of caught up probably around season 3 or 4. I wasn't aware of it while I was in England, and then I moved out here. And I think the first time I auditioned for it, I was like, I'm going to check out an episode. And then once I checked out the first episode, I was like, all right, here we go. And then I binged the first 3 or 4 seasons, and then I caught up. But yeah, just a real treat.
Do you remember what your first episode was? What popped your cherry?
Oh, the first one. I went back to the beginning.
Oh,
the gang gets
Gotta
racist.
start from the beginning.
Yeah. I just put that on and then just sat back and let it roll.
Yes.
By the way, you tricked me. I totally thought you had an American accent when I watched your character.
Or is he tricking you now? No, I'm British. I promise, I'm British.
Yes, you're British.
Yeah. So it's nice to be able to play American and switch in and out on things.
And you took the big leap, coming over to LA where all the work is. I'm a big fan of British TV, though. Do you happen to have any favorite British TV shows you watch? Or...
Doctor Who was a big one when I was growing up.
And you were on it,
right?
It
was my first TV job.
Well, that's a dream come true,
yeah,
isn't it?
It's great. So yeah, I grew up with Doctor Who, but I grew up on a lot of American TV. So I would get home from school and I would watch Star Trek and Buffy and X-Files.
Nice.
So it was always my intention to go through drama school and be like, I'm going to go to America and live the dream.
And here you are.
Here you are living the dream.
Yeah, I got my green card.
Yes.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
And you've been on a lot of just a really cool, fun projects. I mean, especially
really fun stuff.
Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Raising Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I die in a lot of things that I'm on. I die in Doctor Who and I die in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And Ant Farm you're doing, which I'm sure is completely opposite, though, from Always Sunny, working on a show like that.
Yeah, it's a kid show and it's a sitcom, so the format is so different. But that was 18 episodes worth, so that was a real joy just to be able to go into work knowing like, oh, I've got work for the next however many weeks. And working on a children's show, the hours are fantastic because you can't go over a certain period of time, so it's good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, I'm curious now. I don't want you to pick favorites. Everyone's equal. But who did you enjoy working with the most when you were on the show? Which one of the gang did you kind of? Was there one that you clicked with more than others?
No, I mean, everyone was so relaxed and it was such a nice environment, and I generally had a nice chat with each of them, for a good 10 minutes or so each. And they were also gracious and pleasant. I knew of Glenn a little bit because I'd worked on a show called Legit, and his wife worked on the episode that I had worked on. So I had gotten a chance to speak to him before. So we spoke about that a little bit, about how sad we were that Legit wasn't on the air anymore. But no, all of them are a treat. I think Dennis is my favorite character, and I love how crazy he's getting this season.
Yes.
He's really becoming very unraveled, and I'm fascinated to see what they do with that.
Yeah, he's starting to, like, the narcissism levels are just through the roof. I thought he was gonna get locked up in Psycho Pete Returns. I thought that was it for Dennis. Thought it was it for Sweet D too. I thought they were both going into the cuckoo barn. Yeah.
Now, I bet with the introduction of your character, you got a lot of interactions on Twitter.
I did more than I normally do, which is I'm kind of a tit. Oh boy.
It's okay. They say what were other things you guys were saying?
Dick nips.
We say dick nips.
boners.
And
You can say tits. It's fine.
I mean, it's always sunny. You're fine.
I'm kind of a Twitter Luddite, so I'm not very savvy with that stuff. But I tried to be better as this was gearing up, and then I tweeted you guys back and was like, "Hey, thanks for the shout out for the episode." So yeah, I'm at Dominic Burgess. I think that's it on Twitter.
That is.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Keeping it simple. It's just his name.
Yeah, it's
so
just my
easy
name.
to find him.
Find me.
Yeah, because it's probably so great because your character's name was in the title and was like so integral to like that is the story.
Right.
So it's great, like because now you will forever be on It's Always Sunny, Psycho Pete.
Yeah.
That's
right.
fantastic.
I love it too because your character is like this nice normal guy, and he's just being bullied by these assholes. Like it's just so great. I love it.
There's a little part of me that's like, oh, I wish he could go psycho, or just have a break. Maybe he'll be back. I can't back that up. I'm not saying anything.
LA makes
He's like,
Psycho
please
crazy.
bring me
Tweet
back.
the show. Tweet the show, everyone. Call to arms, fans. Let's bring Psycho Pete Returns Part 2. He comes back from LA and
Psycho Pete
another
returns
episode.
returns.
Yes, returns.
Yeah.
Returns again.
I would love it. Let's make it happen, guys.
Yes.
power of social media.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't get to go full on psycho, but it seems like you've been playing all types of different parts. You're playing like a billionaire on the ant farm.
Yes.
On Raising Hope, I saw a clip of you in a crop top.
Yeah, just
and, you know,
the knitted, yeah,
the
my
midriff.
belly. I'm so sorry.
Rock it.
No,
Don't
no way. It was
apologize.
awesome.
Work it. Own
Yeah,
it.
you
Work it.
got it,
I'll
yeah.
own it. I'll own that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you.
No, but I mean, you moved from England out to LA and you're playing all these different parts. Do you
Yeah.
have like a favorite kind of character you've been playing,
Oh,
or kind of
boy.
getting typecasted in a way that you keep
No,
playing
I'm really
the same
lucky.
British guy or something? It
I'm
seems like
really-
you're having a variety.
Yeah, which is great. I haven't been typecast. No one's been able to put me into a box, so I've been able to switch from, like you said, the billionaire to the British spy in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to someone like this who's really down and morose. So it's a whole array of stuff. So I'm really grateful that I haven't been pigeonholed in any particular way. And then flipping between British roles and American roles is really fun too. So sometimes I'll go and audition in a British accent and I'll be like, we kind of want an American. I'll be like, okay, all right. And vice versa. If I audition in
great.
American, they'll be like, oh, why don't you try it in British? I'm like, all right, okay, let's do that too. So yeah, it's fun.
Now, what was the hardest thing when learning an American accent? I mean, because it's an American accent to you. It's you speak normal to you. But what was the hardest part for you?
Because like I said, I was raised on American TV. I feel like it's kind of filtered in by
already in
osmosis.
there.
It's in there. And same with an Australian accent, because I would watch the Australian soaps while I was doing my homework at school. So I'll pull that out every now and then. And yeah, I love accents and dialects. I'm all about them.
Nice. I watch a lot of British TV shows too, but I'm not gonna regale you with my. No,
You already said it. It has to happen.
You set it up.
Here we go.
or I could be like Michael Caine for a moment and see. It just doesn't seem. All right. Okay. So let's talk to Dominic Burgess. I feel like we're on Ricky Gervais' show, and he's doing his podcast, and we need Carl Pilkington here. See, so that's my.
I've heard worse.
British
I've
accent.
heard
Valiant
worse.
effort. That's good.
I was nervous.
good.
I've never actually done it for someone from England, so there was a lot of pressure on me right now. My heart rate's up. I need some.
It was
I
like
know.
way better than when Sweet D was doing all of her accents,
Oh
trying
my
to
gosh.
Yes.
get all of her pills.
Yeah.
I love those parts though, where she gets into her like dramatic actress moments with her monologues, and people
Yeah.
are like, "What are you doing?"
No. Oh, what did you think about Rickety Cricket? Do you think he looked like the Hound the entire episode from Game of Thrones?
Now I see it. I
Yeah.
didn't think it at the time, but now I see where you're going. I love how he's just devolved into a wreck.
Oh my goodness.
It's the best.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of character development, to go from where he was at the beginning to that, what a joy for that guy. And probably not the prosthetics.
Oh
process,
yeah,
but-
no
That
kidding.
makeup was awesome though.
Yeah.
They did a good job.
And now he's stuck with it whenever he comes back again. That's it for the rest of the time.
Such a downward spiral.
I know, right? Unless they start cloaking him even more.
Yeah, or they're gonna like amputate an arm or something.
But do you think that that's a fair price for? No, we won't even go into that. His price ranges were interesting for what they were requesting.
Oh my
Are
gosh.
you saying after you thought about it for a week and now you've upped your prices for getting it in the butt?
Yeah, I feel more.
It's gonna be a 24 pack instead of a 6-pack.
Yeah, 6-pack is light.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, just for one beer to do, he was just like naming some outrageous
Sometimes
stuff.
you
there.
just gotta
get
get your
low and
fix.
desperate, I guess.
You know what I really wanted to see in the episode though is I wanted to see the exorcism of Psycho
Yes.
Pete. Did you want? Was that something when you were reading through, going, "Oh man, I hope I get exorcised"? Or...
I mean, no, I was just gracious to get anything. When you read through and you get a part like that, you're like, okay, I'll do anything. And I had seen
For a sixer?
for a sixer, yes. A couple of friends said like, oh man, I wish you had gotten the exorcism. And I guess I didn't dwell on it too much. But yeah, I guess it would have been fun to see them go through the process of it. But I'm happy with my lot.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Being sent to
Yeah.
LA to us.
Yeah. No, that was definitely like. I mean, it's such a show that has such a huge cult following. You know, to be known as like, okay, there's Rickety Cricket, and like there's the whore that Frank kills in that one episode, and now there's Psycho Pete.
Yeah,
That's
down
cool.
in law.
Yeah, you're now in the lot of extra characters that they have.
Yeah.
It's great.
I'll take it.
What if Psycho Pete like comes and saves Rickety Cricket?
Ooh, that would be his.
It gets all like sentimental.
Cricket and Pete.
You had some questions, but speaking of saving, you had
Yeah.
some questions about Dominic about saving things.
Well, I was reading about you online, not
Oh,
to
no.
sound super stalkery.
Oh boy.
But I heard that you were into wildlife preservation and helping
I love
animals.
wildlife
I love animals,
preservation.
so I wanted to talk to you about that.
I recently rescued 2 kittens. They're cats now. They're fully grown. They're the
Oh my
best and the
gosh.
worst.
So
thing I've ever
adorable.
done.
I saw one with
You
the little
did.
Yoda
Yeah,
Frodo.
I don't know if it's on my Twitter page, but yeah, I'll put it up.
Yeah.
I'll put it up on Twitter.
So cute.
I have
Frodo and Pippin.
little 8-month-old kitten.
Yeah.
I love cats. They're
Called-
so cute.
What's the name?
His name's Lando Calrissian, and
Oh,
he's a
good.
black cat. And
Good.
I know, super nerdy.
Yes, mine are Frodo and Pippin, and
That is amazing.
I think
the
you
best.
guys are meant to
Nerd
be.
cats.
Nerd cats.
Can you like please
Nerd
put
cats.
your cats together and just
We'll
make
do it.
one
Cats
super
unite.
nerd cat?
Yeah, I'm very much about wildlife preservation. I would love to get involved more with things like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I was reading about you and it said wildlife preservation you're really into and anti-bullying, which I
Yes.
thought was hilarious because your character's so bullied on the show. Which
Poor Pete.
I know. It's so sad, but like how great is that you're like against bullying and you're like, look at my character on this show, you know?
Yeah, and he was driven to the brink by those guys.
So sad. But it is a really big issue, especially in schools and especially with online media and
Yeah.
cyberbullying nowadays.
I
So
hate
it's good
bullies.
to like stand up against the
Yeah.
bad guys.
Yeah.
And it was also interesting with after the Psycho Pete Returns episode, I saw that a lot of people were tweeting about another issue, which was like mental illness in the in entertainment and just in general and like understanding mental illness. So that was interesting to me that I think most of the cast tweeted something about there was a certain organization, I don't remember what it was, but they were like bringing awareness and like pictures of Robin Williams and stuff like that, that they were making fun of mental illness, but do realize it's a serious issue.
It's what they do so well
Yeah.
on that show is take serious topics and they're very subversive and they flip things on their head. And yeah, they deal with the serious stuff in such a fun way and they tiptoe around very playfully with serious stuff that needs attention. Yeah.
It reminds me of South Park in that way where it's always like really up to date and current on whatever the issue is, but they have the characters have these like really specific like opinions or characteristics
Yeah.
that they can kind of dabble with where it's not like the show views this in general. It's like
No, they do
this
such a wonderful job
character.
in, they'll fragment the group and maybe Dee and Dennis will say, you know what, we're going to go do this because this is our view. And then the other 3 characters will take the opposing view and they'll go off on their separate tracks. So you see different sides of the story and how people interpret it. So it's such great writing. It's so clever.
And then this episode tonight, they were actually all in the same place at the same time, which is not always the case. So it was really neat to see that because, I mean, it's one shot, so keep them all in the same room.
Yeah, let's go ahead and just dive into the episode now. I mean, Charlie was the center point of this. It was called Charlie Work.
And because of the title, I've been excited all week. I was like, a Charlie Work episode? It's just about Charlie Work? I love Charlie Work.
And we're both, it's funny how everyone kind of has their favorite character. Like you were saying, you have Dennis. We both are obsessed with Charlie. And I
Right.
think
Love
it's funny that we like have the same one that we're into.
I'm
But
all about Mac,
Yeah.
you are Mac, basically.
cultivating mass and occupying.
But I love Dee too. I do love Dee. Dee
Yeah.
and Dennis. She's such a good
And
actress.
Frank's so funny. Oh my gosh, he cracks me up. They're all amazing.
Side note,
they're
I
all
wanted
wonderful.
Caitlin to be in the new Ghostbusters movie. I thought that she
Hell
was
yeah.
awesome. So just a shout out to Caitlin. I think that she got snubbed. It should have been her.
Do you know which one you would have liked her to be?
Um,
If they, I'm sure they're making new characters, but if she were one of the original,
I would say that she would probably be a good. I mean, either Ray or Venkman.
yeah,
One of the two.
those are
Oh,
what
I
I was
go
thinking too.
Venkman.
Yeah,
Venkman was what I was
yeah.
thinking.
Yeah. But yeah, so that side
Yeah.
note on that.
Good.
Side note on that.
Hypothetically speaking.
But she is, Caitlin is such a good actress, and it's so
good.
fun. I mean, that she's the Meg. She gets, just crapped on.
She's the Meg.
And she got cursed
That's what I
out
put it.
Yeah.
so much this episode.
Every single time, she had one job she didn't achieve.
Yeah, just
bitch.
one thing. Yeah, he just got cursed out. You were cracking up every time that she got cursed out. I heard Dominic just like cracking up in the screening room.
It's she's so good, and their treatment of her, especially in last week's episode with Dennis, and just he's being driven to the brink by her, and she's not even doing anything too obnoxious. Yeah, really great.
Oh man, that's awesome. So yeah, to True Detective. I mean, they definitely did a huge homage to that. I'm not as familiar with True Detective. I don't know if you guys watch the show. Mm-hmm. So are you a fan of the show? Mm-hmm. Tell us what you thought about this. Like, it felt like it was an entire episode of homage to that.
You know, I wasn't fully aware of it until you said, like, oh, it was a real True Detective moment, and then they had the Matthew McConaughey throwback at the end, and I was like, oh. But I just thought it was just such a clever. Now I see it completely with the shootout in True Detective and this and the one shot style, and I just can't even imagine the amount of time that it took to plan all that out with Mac and Dennis in the office and the chickens, and then someone having to go in and get all that out, and then with Frank getting painted throughout, and then setting him in the basement, and just the logistics of that from a prop and technical point of view to keep all the lights and cameras hidden. Just amazing.
Yeah, what I read about that is that it just required a lot of rehearsal and planning, because it's choreography.
Yeah,
it's totally choreography of where they're going to go in and out, and then also that the inside of the bar is a different place than the outside of the bar. So if they are outside, there had to be some kind of cut, or like when it was facing out of the door and the truck was outside, like that's like a green screen or something.
Okay.
But like when they actually go outside and you see the sky, that's a totally different place.
Trippy.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
I wanted to ask though, since you were there, the part where they go out to where the dumpster is,
Yes.
is that on set?
There's
like, is that in the
part of it
soundstage?
built there, but I think there was a cut in this
Where you could
episode
see
where
the
they
outside.
go into the alley and you see Frank running away down there, and then when Charlie comes outside and he's taking the keys, you can kind of see in the doorway that it's green screen, and Dennis is there moving around. But it was so well done, especially for a show like this, a half-hour comedy.
Yeah.
That you don't really see on that, and everything was so frantic and so high energy that, I mean, they must have been exhausted.
Yeah.
But they did such an amazing job.
It's
There's
hard
a
for me
lot
not to
going
watch
on.
something like that and not think production-wise, like how stressful that is.
Yeah.
Like all I can think is like, oh my gosh, the Steadicam operator and the lights and the
Right.
props. Like exactly what you were saying. Like I like see it, I get excited, but it was really enjoyable because they executed.
Yeah.
Like to do that, great.
Well,
Yeah.
and you had mentioned it was like Birdman. Did either of you guys see Birdman?
I haven't seen it yet.
No,
Oh,
neither have I.
it's a lot like that with like the drums in the background and the really long shots, almost filmed like a play kind of
Right.
style. And I thought it was interesting you made that point because, you know, Oscar season is only a couple weeks away. So,
Yeah.
and that movie's been so big. But Charlie was so like on point this episode too. Like he was like, health inspection, I'm on it. Like everything has to be clean. Like the easy access hole had to be covered up with the little kitten thing.
Yes.
And like he was making sure everyone was under control. And that's never how Charlie
Yeah.
is. So he
Charlie
was
just
taking
has,
his
like,
work seriously.
Disregard for most things.
And he
Charlie's
wasn't
like,
part of the scam. I was like, how is he not in the whole steak, airplane, flyer mile, you know, scam operation?
because it was health inspection day, and that he takes pride in Charlie work.
It's like the waitress, cheese, Charlie work.
Yeah, health
That's
inspection.
that's the only things that he cares about in life.
And the other guys were saying like, oh, we never have to do too much to get a good grade. We always get a good grade. He's like, because I make it this way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No one cares. They only care about themselves. Just like they didn't even realize that they were destroying Pete's life and made him Psycho Pete. Like
they're like,
they're just
"Oh."
all self-centered.
I like how they're switching it up this season, though. I mean, they did the plane episode, and then with this one, the way it was directed and filmed, they're really, you know, being a little bit more ballsier and going out of their normal, you know.
Yeah, but it's so fun
Limits.
to do.
I love it.
It's great that they're 10 seasons in and they can do that kind of stuff and be like, we're gonna do this, and who's gonna stop them? They wrote the episode.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
They're going to do whatever they want.
Go
and
ahead.
See if
Yeah.
people like it. And we do like it.
yeah, I loved it.
Well, we're to wrap up here in just about 5 minutes. I think we got going. I have one more question for you.
Yeah.
So you've worked on Doctor Who. You've worked on Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You worked with Mark Maron and done stuff with Marvel. Awesome things. And you mentioned bucket list and like dream jobs. What's your next target? What's the other?
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I love Game of Thrones. And I mean, I don't know if I'm dead in the Marvel universe forever now. But I would love to do another Marvel film. But I think there's more opportunities in that, if there's prosthetics and there's alien races and whatnot. But I don't know if that's a case of like, you did Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so now you can never do Daredevil. But that
Chris
kind of
Evans was Torch, and then now he's Captain America.
Yeah.
So
Right.
if Chris Evans can do it, you can do it too.
I can do it too.
Yeah.
I could be the Human Torch.
Could be in the Alien Jurassic Park, like
Yeah.
your shirt
I would
too.
love
That would be
to do-
epic.
Yeah.
That's
It's a great
shirt.
shirt.
I would
Really great.
love to do Jurassic Park.
That would be
When
awesome.
Jurassic Park 5 comes around, this guy.
Chris Pratt and Dominic Burgess.
I'll take it. I'll do it.
That would be awesome. I'd pay a ticket. I'd go see
Is this
it.
a contract?
Producers,
I'll
you
sign
watching?
it.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Well,
Don't forget to check us out on iTunes. And
yeah, thank you so much for coming
Oh,
into our
thank
studio.
you.
Where
Thank you.
can they find you online? I think
You can find me on
mentioned
Twitter at Dominic Burgess. That's it. I think it's that simple, right?
It was.
Is that what
That's
I
how
tell
we
people?
met. It was that simple. Yeah.
I think that's it.
And now we're best friends
Hope that's it.
forever.
Forever. and
Forever.
ever. Yeah.
Forever. Or you will be a skin lamp.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ooh.
Oh.
Call back.
Yeah.
Ooh, is she serious? Maybe.
And where can they find you guys online?
Find me on Instagram and Twitter at Marilou Mandl, which is MARIELOUMANDL.
And I'm JoJo Doyle everywhere. I tried to have that branding.
Why the double Joe?
Mark down.
Because some random like marketing guy in I don't even know he has twins and loves bikes. He has Joe Doyle and I
So
hate
this
him.
is JoJo Doyle.
Yeah, emphasis.
Don't mix it up.
I got a little
Joe Doyle.
Yeah.
And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, the works at Danica Kennedy. Thank you so much for watching our after show, and thank you for coming in the studio,
thank you.
Dominic.
Dominic
Cheers.
in the house. Thank you
Yeah.
again.
We'll see you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.